So now we're going to do the mystery or occult meditation for the base chakra. And this, Anna, I think you were in this class. I know Uni took this class with me at the center. So some of this might look familiar to you, but we're just going to go very briefly through the beginning of the chakras. Now, most of you have done chakra work, I'm sure. Is there anyone that hasn't done any chakra work? Okay. So we know that there are 7 chakra centers that are related to the physical form. There are actually now 12 chakras that have opened up over the last few years that go all the way up into a higher level of consciousness. But in general, we're going to talk about the 7 major ones during this beginning time. Then when we go to more advanced work, we'll be talking about the other chakras as well. So tonight, basically, you know that the 7 chakras are that govern individual sections of the body. And just think for a moment, if you have any challenges in the physical body right now as we go through this, because each area of the body, of course, governs the organs and the joints, our emotions, and spiritual information. So it's a multi-leveled, the chakras go all around and they interweave and form basically your auric field. It goes out at least 3 feet. When one section of our body is ill, it's because that chakra is not flowing positive energy through the body. There are several things you can do besides meditation or in addition to meditation to keep your chakras cleared. Does anyone have any of their own suggestions before I get into them? What do you do to keep your chakras clear? Do you?
I have a meditation that I do in the shower. You can do this as a chakra threading, where you bring energy down through your chakras and then back up again. And I try to do that once a week or so. I probably should do it more, but at least once a week I try to specifically do a chakra threading to thread energy down and back out. So that's what I was taught a while back.
Good, good, good. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Yes.
So doing like prayer and affirmation, does that do work on your chakras?
Well, it does work on your energy, but this is specifically directing energy to each of these levels of our it's a level of consciousness. So
Okay.
that is in partnership with clearing your chakras. This is the mystery schools taught this a long time ago, insofar as really delving into each chakra and all that it balanced in all the different levels of your being. So that the answer to that is yes and no. Okay.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I muted myself. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I unmuted. All right, so the first one, of course, we're going to do is called the first chakra. It's also called the root or base chakra. Traditionally, it has to do with tribal power, lessons related to the material and physical world. It has to do with how you walk on the earth, how you exist on the physical plane. That which grounds us to the earth. So when I think about the base chakra, I think about walking on the earth. The foundation, it's also the foundation of emotional and mental health. So if your chakra is unbalanced, and one of the things, you know what? Well, I'm going to pause recording just a second, if I can. Pause recording, resume. Okay, so here is one of my many pendulum. I'm a chronic pendulum buyer. I have to get help for that. But how many people have ever, let me put it this way, who hasn't used a pendulum to do energy work?
I haven't.
Okay, anybody else?
I have never done one either. So.
Okay. Well, I believe we're going to have a pendulum workshop or a pendulum session, maybe at the next one. But what the pendulum does, and I have, this is my personal one that I use to ask questions and also to check my energy centers. But one of the things I do when I do healing work on myself and with other people is this picks up energy. So if I were doing an energy check on myself right now, I would see how, if it's going to the right, then my chakra is open. If it's going to the left, then my chakra needs some work. If it's going back and forth or sideways, again, my chakra is not getting a full flow of energy. So for instance, let me just see, I'm doing a lot of talking right now. So my throat chakra is right here. So I'm going to see, yeah, see, it's pretty open. I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't know how big my picture is for you, but it's going around to the right, which it would. Now, because I've had surgery on my back, a lot of my lower two chakras need a lot of work because there's metal back there. So I have to do a lot of energy work around my lower chakras. I have to do a lot of emotional work. I have to do a lot of spiritual work as well as physical work. And so what in your book that I gave you, in your handout that I gave you, there's a lot of exercises for all the different levels of consciousness. And this shows you in the body, the ganglia and the nerves and the part of the spinal cord that the base chakra is located. The other part of your chakras is they have sacred truths. And one of the ideas of the base chakra is the sacred truth that all is one. And a lot of times when people's base chakra goes out, they don't feel connected. They don't feel supported by the universe. And so that's one of the things that I would look at as a healer and as a counselor, as what are some of your physical things that are going on. Let's see what emotional things may be also going on. Trying at all times to keep out of judgment. So one of these, the ideas of these truths is that you're connected to all of life. Every choice you make, every belief you have exerts influence upon your life.
Are you okay?
And when we heal, Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying something. When we heal this chakra, we have a lot of energy too. So we've got a lot of energy in order to do our daily task and do our daily work. Again, there's a whole bunch more information in the handout I gave you. Because we have some people that have to leave early, I wanted to do just a little overview of the fact of what these chakras are about, and then do the meditation. The meditation is a long meditation, and I want you to have time to do it. Information you can read. Experience you have to experience. Does that make sense? Is that okay with everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So every chakra represents a specific area of consciousness, or what the ancients called a spiritual body. So one of the things that I learned when I was taking my energy healing work and I was training as a Reiki master is that a lot of times if you have a physical issue in this lifetime, say you came in with a handicap or a mental disorder or something like that, if you work on the emotional issues, on the mental issues, and on the spiritual issues that are related to that, you may heal it on those levels. You may not necessarily heal it on the physical. You may, but this is where judgment comes in. If you work on all levels to heal it, and you have the issues balanced by the time you leave this earth walk, this body, then the next body you weave together will not have that issue. Does that make sense? It's sort of that continuum that we are energetic beings. We are our soul. We're not our bodies. And say, for instance, if I came in without a hand or without an arm, I'm not going to grow it necessarily. Now, maybe in some future life we can do that. but the issues for which it's not there, I can heal. Does this make sense? Any discussion here? Okay. I know you guys are probably, what? Anybody unmuted?
I'm unmuted. It makes sense to me. Like, I just think about, like, I was born with a dislocated hip, and at birth they had to kind of put me back together, basically.
Uh-huh.
So it just kind of makes me think a little bit about this a little more. That's all.
Yeah, and see, you know, as you were learning about the chakras, see what that part of your body has to do with.
Has to do with it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and look at the different issues, and if there's anything that you can own or that you feel like you can own, and this is also what I'm here for, is to work with you on different things when you need them. So just, you know that.
Yeah.
So anyway, the physical level, it also governs our reproductive organs, obviously. It can control sexual development, production of eggs in females and sperm in males. So now we're going to get ready to do this coming to the sunrise. I use, or I was taught to use, the lotus flower as a symbol of unfolding us on different levels of being. So when we go within, visualize, first we visualize a closed lotus flower like this. I know that looks like a rose, but it's actually a lotus. And as it begins to unfold petal by petal, I'm going to walk you through that until you become the lotus and you live inside of this lotus flower. I found this beautiful. I love that picture. So just to give you some visuals to work with as we're going through this meditation. And so take a deep breath and allow yourself to close your eyes. Sit comfortably with your back straight. Begin to relax. Breathe in through your nose and out through slightly parted lips, as if you're blowing out a candle. And as you're relaxing into your physical self, allow yourself to take deep breaths from time to time, allowing yourself to relax more and more. As we turn our attention inward, allow yourself to feel the beating of your heart. And as you're breathing deeply and relaxing completely, imagine a 6-inch sun a few inches above your head. This sun is radiating warm, white light energy. And see the bottom of the sun open, pouring this purifying white light down into the top of your head. And as it does, visualize at the top of your head a closed lotus flower, which slowly and fully opens as the sun energy pours in and downward. And the energy is saturating, purifying, balancing, harmonizing, and energizing the crown center. Breathe. And the bud accepts the light that comes to it and opens and becomes full. And as it becomes full, the energy overflows and streams down to another small bud at the forehead, the third eye or the brow center. And the energy is pouring in and downward to this bud, saturating and purifying, balancing and harmonizing, energizing the center we call the third eye. And as this bud drinks and draws the energy to itself, it begins to slowly open. And as it opens, it absorbs all the energy that it can. Breathe. And when it is fully open, the energy continues to stream downward, flowing down now to a small bud that we find at the throat center. And that bud at the throat uses the purifying white light energy that's pouring to it, saturating, purifying, balancing, and harmonizing. The white light energy flows into the throat center, and the small bud there begins to slowly open. The light permeates into the bud and the center. And opening, the bud drinks and uses, absorbs all the energy that it can hold. Fully opened and filled with energy at the base of your throat. Breathe. And now the abundant energy continues to flow downward. And as it does, it begins to saturate the small bud found at the heart center. Saturating, purifying, balancing, and harmonizing. The energy pours into the heart center in the middle of your chest. And the small closed lotus bud begins to open. Slowly it opens as the sun energy pours to it and through it. Petal by petal it opens. It's energized and made full, accepting all the light that comes to it. Breathe and feel your heart center opened and balanced. And now as the bud absorbs all the energy that it can, as it's open and full and ready, the abundant stream of white light energy again moves downward. This time pouring down to the small bud we find at the solar plexus level. And at the solar plexus, the white light energy streams into the small bud there, and it too begins to open petal by petal. And the white light energy is saturating, purifying, balancing, and harmonizing, energizing and opening the bud at the solar plexus. And the closed bud begins to slowly open, absorbing the energy that comes to it from the higher world. This bud gradually opens, drinking the energy and absorbing all that it can. Breathe and feel your solar plexus opened, balanced, harmonized. And now this center is fully opened as the opened lotus flower is fully opened. And the abundant stream of energy again begins to pour downward, moving down into the navel or the spleen center. And the white light energy saturates, purifies, balances, harmonizes, and energizes the spleen center. And the small bud located here slowly begins to open and accept the light that comes to it. And as the center becomes full and opens, so too does the lotus flower, drinking the energy. And the stream of energy again begins to flow downward, pouring down to a small closed bud that you find at the base center, at the base of the spine. And the small bud here begins to energize the base, the root chakra. And the small bud begins to open slowly, petal by petal, drinking all of the energy that comes to it, until it's fully open. A radiant flower of light in harmony and in balance and peace, and yet radiant and full of energy of the white light that comes to it. Take a breath and feel the relaxation in the body and yet the fullness of the centers as the energy has been pouring through your being. Open your eyes now and look at the mandala. Be aware of the color, the patterns. Observe it. Allow yourself to look at every detail, every shape, every bit of energy that is this mandala. And then begin to build it at the base of the spine. Do it in a third dimensional way. What does it look like from behind, on the sides, from the top, from the bottom? Build it. Notice the sacred geometry, the sacred symbols, the colors. Close your eyes and allow the mandala to anchor into the base of the spine. Feel the motion, the form. We hold the thought. The body, soul, and spirit connect in harmony. My body serves its rightful purpose. Again, you think. The body, soul, and spirit connect in harmony. My body serves its rightful purpose. Take a breath. And now, filled with light, we bring the stream of light up from the base center. See it connecting the light streaming up from the base to the spleen or navel center. Take a breath and balance the energy here. And again, we bring the energy from the spleen center to the solar plexus, holding ourselves in balance and harmony. We now bring the energy from the solar plexus to the heart. Take another breath. Feel the energy as it expands and opens your heart. Say to yourself, I care. I care. I care. Relaxed and ready, we move the energy from the heart to the throat center, and from the throat center to the brow, and from the brow to the open bud, the open lotus flower on top of your head at the crown center. Allow yourself to feel the energy moving through you in perfect harmony and perfect balance. And now, visualize your physical body as a closed flower. And with the power of your mind's eye, slowly begin to see it open, petal by petal, fully opening to the light above your head. Feel the warmth as it penetrates every cell of your body. Allow the light to drink into or to pour into every cell of your body. And the flower is drinking. And the white light is cleansing, balancing, energizing, and harmonizing your entire physical body. Now we see the physical body itself open and receptive to that white light energy that pours to it. And as we do, we find within the open physical form another closed bud. And this bud represents the emotional body. And the white light energy begins to shine upon that bud, and it begins to open petal by petal. As the light shines upon the emotional body, that flower begins to open slowly to the cleansing white light. And the white light energizes, harmonizes, purifies the emotional body. And see that bud fully open to the cleansing white light. Take a breath. And as we see this lotus flower fully open, we now again begin to see another closed bud within the opened one. This closed flower represents your mental body. And the white light shines upon it. And we begin to experience it opening to the purifying white light of pure consciousness. The mental body itself begins to open, being receptive, nurtured, balanced, and harmonized by the light that shines upon it. And as it opens, we find within it yet another closed bud. This bud represents our spiritual body. And as the mind becomes open, the white light saturates the inner hidden spiritual energies. And the spiritual energies are stimulated by the light of pure consciousness. And the spiritual bud begins to open and respond to the radiant light of cleansing, purification, and harmony. And now, the bodies begin to smoothly spin, moving, fusing, blending the physical to the emotional to the mental to the spiritual. The integration of the energy takes place. The levels become as one. Take a breath and experience yourself as a radiant open flower. The lotus blossom with levels and levels of petals unfolding, open to the light. The great symbol of east and west. The restricted consciousness budding and opening to the presence of the great light that guides the universe. And we experience this openness. We come to know ourselves in new ways. Relax and be comfortable. We make ourselves ready for the spiritual energies to flow downward and through us, to bring forth change, that growth may occur within each level of our life, that we may become the pure, radiant, awakened one. We breathe again, becoming aware of the beauty within our nature, aware of the freedom that we have, aware of the love flowing from level to level, moving and balancing within us, aware of the joy that we find as we touch the essence of our highest self. Creator of the universe, Father, Mother, God, we open ourselves to the great light that guides the universe, to the great life that pulsates through all form and spirit. We become aware of ourselves moving in perfect harmony with the planets of the sky, with the rivers of the earth, with the twinkling lights and the winds that blow. We sense the presence of the mystery within as we discover bit by bit the nature that was hidden. We bring ourselves into conscious attunement with all of life, with new respect and appreciation of each pattern that unfolds, that the unfolding patterns may guide, that we may bring forward harmony within our own nature. To the wisdom of cycles and rhythms, we offer ourselves as children of the light, to grow and expand, to realize and to make change within our body, within our physical life, within our habits, our style. We are ready now. May the light that guides us touch and inspire us, aid us as we take the steps deemed necessary by our own higher guidance, that we may unfold our spiritual potential ever more fully. Take a breath. Feel the fervor that moves within your being. Identify with the feeling of the energy of will as we offer ourselves to this guiding consciousness. We seek to stimulate that will in perfect harmony with higher will. And now repeat to yourself, God, I am light. God, I am love. God, I am peace. God, I am beauty. God, I am wisdom. God, I am strength. I am joy. I am love. Feel those energies moving within you. Strengthened by the white light energy that comes to you. Feel the energy and form you have built within yourself, actively moving as a base for the spiritual life that you seek and have begun to grow. Let there be change within us. As co-creators, we seek change and we seek creation. Let there be growth and guidance. Let there be new insight and inspiration. Now take a deep breath and just relax. Feeling the energy at the base of your spine, vitalizing every cell of your body. Healing and balancing and harmonizing your emotions, calming your thoughts, aligning with your spirit. And now with another breath, we begin to move outward, acknowledging the outer world around us, the physical self. Let's hold in mind that which we've experienced, that which we've felt. Put your hands over your eyes and slowly open your eyes behind your hands, allowing the physical awareness to gradually become aware of its surroundings. And when you're ready, remove your hands, take another deep breath, and become fully awake. Let me know when you're back. Everybody back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this only is done once. You don't do it again, but I'm going to send it to you and you have the mandala. It is recommended that you do this like once a quarter if you want. We're going to do it as a class probably once a session because we're going to be doing other work as well, and I don't want you to overstimulate yourself. One of the things that you may see as the week goes on is you may feel some of the issues related to the chakra kick up to be cleared. That's why I've given you the handout I gave you. So any questions about what we just experienced?
No, but I would share that I have experienced a lot of pain in this chakra anyway, and I did during that, and then almost like at the very end of it all, it dissipated and was gone. So,
and that's what this is supposed to do.
Yeah, it's working already.
Yeah.
Immediately.
And I will say that your meditation work this week, we're going to go through some slides right now. We've got about another 20 minutes to go. But I've given you affirmations. I've given you other things. The rest, a lot of this work that I've given you, this next part, is things that I learned from Carolyn Mace when I did work with her on anatomy of the spirit with chakras and energy and that kind of thing, and several other people. And I think there's a bibliography at the end of the handout of all the people that and work that I referenced in it. So one of the experiences of the first chakra, of course, it goes down your leg, and it's moving energy downward, connecting with the earth. Before I go on, is there any other people? I feel someone has another question or something. Anybody? Okay. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and no, I'll keep going. So the other thing about the base chakra is it has to do with manifesting on the physical plane. So when we talk in the New Thought community about manifesting things, a lot of times your chakras need to be clear so that you can manifest things to help you with your physical needs. So one of the processes is pulling things together in one place and not be scattered. A lot of people are experiencing things like ADHD, and even though that has to do with some of the higher chakra centers, it also has to do with being grounded in your base center. And as you said, Anna, you have had experience with that. I've had 2 back surgeries and a spinal fusion, so I certainly have these issues as well. It also has to do with survival and our ability to manifest what we need. When this chakra is clear, you are able to have your needs met a little bit more easily. It represents the part of you that's in the heaviest, densest form of creation. And the tasks it has, the base chakra, is to getting in touch with the earth. One of the things that a lot of the mystery schools did is the first 7 years of study was literally chopping wood and carrying water. It was to really be present in your physical tasks. Say, for example, you're cleaning the kitchen and doing the dishes. Instead of letting your mind wander, you focused on that task. That's part of the base chakra's job, is to keep you grounded in the physical, keep you grounded on the earth, keep you grounded in present time. The other thing is, like I said, meeting your survival needs, taking care of your body. I indulged today in some pasta that I thought, well, this is certainly not taking care of your physical body. But then I decided before I ate it, I was really going to do some energy work on it and bless it. And this is what blessing is all about. When we bless our food, I have certain food allergies. A lot of people do. And I think as we raise our consciousness, and not that I think, I know, as we raise our consciousness, we can literally change the molecules of how they affect us with things we take into our body. It's why if you do have to take any kind of a medicine, or you take an herb or whatever, you bless it, because you're changing the vibration from your heart through your hands to raise the frequency. Does this make sense? So let's become mindful of blessing our food and thanking the soul of the spirit that gave it itself to us. One of the colors of the base chakra is red. Red has to do with vitality and passion. And so we can expose ourselves, we can use these colors. I share with the first chakra class, I actually have chakra underwear. So if I have need of an energy, or you can, there's stones, you can use the color red and wear the color red. And there are certain stones in essential oils, and red represents life, it represents fire, it represents growth, and the burning away of negativity and weakness. Goodness, we know that we have red earth here in North Carolina. It represents the soil, the stones, the trees. Some of the issues related, physical issues related to the chakra. This is the way the chakra looks. You can see that this is exactly the form that was within the mandala that we just used. If you look at this. Chronic low back pain, constipation, arthritis, immune system diseases, hemorrhoids and other rectal disorders, obesity, chemical dependency, and other addictions. It has to do with leg and feet problems and varicose veins. So these are just some of the physical indications that the base chakra needs some attention. Some of the mental and emotional issues related to this chakra are obsessive compulsive disorder, multiple personality disorder, depression, constant worry, ability to provide for life's necessities, eating disorders, ability to stand up for yourself, self-esteem, superstition, feeling at home, your physical, family, and group safety and security. And I guess ability to stand up for yourself, I think I have it twice. That must be important to me. Anger and fear and suicide. Now, one of the things that I want you to be aware of, for those of you that still watch TV with commercials, notice the commercials and see what chakra they are relating to. A lot of this is base chakra. A lot of the medications you see touted on TV are base chakra related, right? So what we want to do, to function, we want to add a deep personal relationship with the earth and the life forms it nurtures. Life energy will be intact. You'll become rooted in life and yourself. Your life becomes characterized by satisfaction, stability, inner strength. You're in resonance with the nature of life cycles, allowing time for rest and activity. You know, one of the things we have forgotten, because we've been so much in these last couple hundred years into the industrial revolution and into the mind, is we've lost our connection with nature, that sixth sense, if you will, of being in the flow of the universe. And part of the mystery school traditions is to be aware of what's around you, be aware of walking into a room and being able to see everything in one glance, and being very observant. So working with your base chakra, start to allow yourself to be more aware of your surroundings, not just go running straight through life with tunnel vision. You'll begin to see that it's easier for you to achieve your goals in the world, and your manifesting can become much easier. You feel secure. You have all the things that you need in order for you to be taken care of in your life. And one of the biggest things about being in a mystery school tradition and being on the path of discipleship is that if you have to worry too much about your physical needs, you're not going to have the energy that you're going to need as you progress into the higher levels of initiation. So that's why so much of the work in the beginning is on yourself and is around your physical self and your emotions, so that you can begin to allow the universe to bring to you, so that you can become a magnet of bringing to you what your needs are, so they can be met and you can be released to do higher work. Does this make sense?
So I wanted to point something out just really quick that my mind always kind of comes back to, is that so I just thought of Valentine's Day and the color red, that they use for our Hallmark holiday and all that, how they use red with this passion. And I thought about how when I was in school, you would order roses for people, and you would order red for someone who you really had passion about, and yellow for your friend, and white for like a true love, like a very pure kind of love. But I just thought it was interesting how my mind always goes back to how the colors are used in advertising.
Yes, of course.
But so I just wanted to point that out, that I really like that, and how my mind is always drawn there.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there's no accident about what colors, even if people don't know specifically why these colors are being used in advertising and marketing. It's a universal knowledge that they're tapping into.
Yeah, I just think that's so cool.
Yep, it is. So if this is blocked, thoughts and actions primarily revolve around material possessions and security. On Sunday, a couple of you were there on Sunday. We were talking about how this is second Sunday at the Bag Lady. We were talking about how it's okay to have material possessions as long as it's not your focus. When you focus on something, the idea of if you really hold on to something, you're not going to get it as you allow the flow. Everyone should be surrounded by beauty and joy, but it shouldn't be what you're here for. It shouldn't be about money and power, right? But it doesn't mean you shouldn't have beautiful things and a great house and a great car and art and go on trips. That is being in the flow spiritually, allowing yourself to be that way. So a lot of us were raised with this idea that material things were bad or money was bad, and it's not. It's just a means to an end. So keep that in mind as you're working with this chakra for the next week, is insofar as if you're going to eat chocolate, eat good chocolate. Don't eat crappy chocolate. If you're going to eat food, eat good food, not crappy food. I know every once in a while I want a Wendy's burger, okay? But if I want a hamburger, the few times I want a good burger. I'm going to start to remember that your body is your temple, and you can indulge, but it's being conscious of it. So, especially tomorrow is Valentine's Day, right? And so we're probably going to have chocolate abundant around us. So anyway, the other thing is, is a lot of these sensual indulgences and thrills this is all overindulgence. This is when it's imbalanced, and this is like alcoholism, food addiction, attempting to ground yourself through weight gain, sex, all that stuff. You want to make whatever you desire without considering the consequences. So you don't care what it costs to have it. Find giving and receiving difficult. Now, a lot of people in this work do find receiving difficult. And we've talked about this before over the years that some of you have known me. But this idea of going through life with open palm, allow yourself to do that. Hoarding possessions. One of the things that a lot of people do as they go on to the path, and they begin to lighten up not only what they put in their body, but around their body. I remember years ago, who was it? It was either Cher or Barbara Streisand. I think it was Barbara Streisand started to give things away in minimize things, and that's also something that is a sign that you're feeling more secure in the world, is you don't need a lot of stuff to identify with. Anyway, I'm going to go through all of these. One of the other, because I wanted to get down to this, becoming easily irritated or angry and frustrated and having aggressive behavior. This is also a sign, if you're having a bad day and this is what you're feeling, you need to do some work on your base chakra. Now, when I say do some work on your base chakra, what I'm saying is go into some of the affirmations that I have later on. I'm going to go through. This is what it looks like. There's the 12 chakra system there. That's the body that we're looking at right now becoming is those 12 chakras. I'm going to see if I can minimize that. There we go. Did my picture just disappear for you guys?
No, I still see it.
Okay, so I just minimized it for me then. Okay, so this is something to hold in mind when you're balanced. This is the way your energetic body would look. It would be flowing from the red into the orange, and it just be this beautiful magnetic field around you. What I want to draw your attention to here is the first 7 chakras that we see here are the rainbow, okay? The next set of chakras that's developed are more pastel in nature. So I just want you to be aware that that's because there's more ultraviolet light coming through the earth and into our energy fields right now. And that's why the other chakras are turquoise and fuchsia and pink and peach and these lighter colors. We'll do more work on that in the coming months. I'm going to go through all of these because I want you to see some of these affirmations and mantras that you can say when you're feeling. So say you're in the car going someplace and you know that your root chakra is not as clear and balanced as you would like. I've given you some ideas of affirmations or mantras. I am calm, secure, and centered. Another one I like is I am safe and secure and surrounded by love. That's like the first 3 chakras right there. So again, this is in your booklet your handout that you can download. So these are some of the gemstones that are good for working with your base chakra if you need some energy. A couple of us have these little, they're like a little jewelry. It's like a spiral cage that you could switch out different stones inside of them. I have a whole jar of semi-precious stones that I'll use if I need to. I'll put on a red stone or whatever. I'm big into essential oils. I think essential oils are very important in this time and age that we're in because they have to do with vibrational energy. One of the sacred oils that is used for the base chakra is sandalwood. Again, this is all in your handout. Myrrh is also good for it. Frankincense, myrrh, sandalwood, all of those can be even combined together. And one of the things that some of us have been doing is we've had these little essential oil necklaces with pads in them that you can drop some of the essential oils on and wear it around your neck so that you're breathing in the essence as well as it's surrounding your chakras and your body. Ylang Ylang is another one. Cedar Atlas or cedar wood is one. Juniper, there's a whole bunch of them. Cinnamon, ginger, carrot seed, and clove. So a lot of these you can actually even, if you're into more of an herb as opposed to essential oils, you might get a little bit and put them in a little sack and put it in some material or something and make a little sachet or something to wear. Okay, so what time is it getting to be? It is about that time. I'm going to stop here on the PowerPoint. Any questions?
So you said this packet here, is this in the email? We didn't get this. Did we? Is this the
I
packet?
sent you a link.
Okay,
It's on the website.
Okay.
It's on the website. The PowerPoint's not there, but the handout that basically I took the handout and made a PowerPoint out of it. That's yeah. There's a link, and it's on. I sent it, I think last week or maybe the beginning of the week.
Okay.
And it's password protected, the page on the website, and the password is wisdom 19 with a W, capital W, wisdom 19. So that's all that should be in your emails. Is everybody getting their emails?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I wasn't planning on sending you the PowerPoint. Let me go ahead and stop sharing here. All right. We don't need that. Oh, hi, everybody. Now I can see you. Melinda, you're here. Yay. Hi. Merriman, you're here. So let's see how this went for everybody. So were you able to keep up with it?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. Look at Merriman ensconced in her bed. I love it. Like a goddess. All right. So, any questions, comments?
Mm-hmm. We good? Yeah. See, Bit said we're good.
I'm going to unmute you, Melinda. You're muted. Unmute.
There we go.
There we go. How you doing?
I'm great. I thought it was an excellent meditation today.
Thank you. I love these. I love coming to the sunrise. They're very deep, and you'll feel the energy, I'm sure, working on in the next couple of weeks or the next week or so.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. So, anything else? How you doing, that Nikki?
Doing just fine. Question: the Soul Center astrology.
I got this something. Okay. We don't have.
I'm sorry, Nikki.
On the Soul Centered Astrology book, are we supposed to start that now?
I would say wait. I mean, that's going to be something Susan is going to be doing April. This next month, we're going to be working on dreams. So I would say do the dream book first.
Okay.
But you could do both. It's up to you. I mean, I'm kind of doing the same thing. I'm reviewing that. The thing about the dream book and the thing about soul-centered astrology is the first part of the books are what we're really going to read. I am not an astrologer. The last part of the book, which is really about more specifics, we'll be covering bit by bit over the next couple of years. The core of the mystery teachings is esoteric astrology.
Okay.
It just is. And the 7 rays, and it's all interwoven and interconnected with the Kabbalah and with the Tarot. And it's this amazing thing that I could read soul-centered astrology 50,000 times and still not be an astrologer, because I'm more of a numerologist, and we're going to be doing that too. All of these sacred sciences are what a disciple, what an initiate knows in order to have the intuitive capability of aligning with the masters of wisdom, with the plan and the purpose of the evolution of humanity. One person may resonate more with, say, the rays and the initiations. One person may resonate more with the astrology, with numerology, with working with dreams. My job as a director of a mystery school is to expose you to all of the sacred sciences and one of them is going to pop out at you and say, this is where I want to focus my energy. Or you may be like me and want to do them all, you know, jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing. I always used to say, I know just enough to get me into trouble. But that's what my job is to show you what the mystery schools are. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely. Thank you.
So, and that's another thing. I mean, you've got this life, you've got next life, you've got all these lifetimes in order to become spiritually perfect and become an ascended master. I mean, that's really where we're all going to go. And if you don't become an ascended master and you decide to go on the left-hand path and become more of the dark brotherhood, then eventually you'll lose your soul and poof into non-existence. So there's that. But there is a point of decision that every soul has to go to the right or to go to the left. And hopefully we'll all go to the right. But hopefully we won't become like Luke Skywalker and become Darth Vader. But he was redeemed in the end, right? Has anyone not seen the Star Wars trilogy?
Don't ruin it. I haven't seen them all. I'm just kidding.
Well,
I mean, I haven't seen them all, but
I will tell you that we ought to rent them and do like a weekend and talk about the spiritual it's all ancient wisdom.
mm-hmm.
Some of you I've shared this with. I actually did a term paper on the Force and the wisdom of Yoda, because it's ancient wisdom in those movies. It's totally ancient wisdom. And it's the path of the hero. So, hero's journey. And what happens when you let fear and anger take over? You become Darth Vader. So, anyway. Okay, so next week we're going to do the second chakra. I'm going to get all of this to you, and I'm going to stop recording now. Poof.